You know that feeling in the pit of your stomach that is caused by sadness and despair? The feeling of your heart being ripped out of your chest and stomped on? I mean, who would voluntarily want to feel this way? Well, if that's you, then these movies will give you that feeling in spades. Today, we're running through the top 10 movies that are so gut-wrenching and tear-jerking, you'll find it hard to finish watching them. They are difficult to watch, but they are also some of the best films ever made. Each one will bring out a level of emotion that most people never thought possible. Here's a little trivia to test your knowledge about these emotionally powerful movies. What movie among the listed tear-jerkers is based on a best-selling novel by Nicholas Sparks? A. Titanic. B. The Book Thief. C. A Walk to Remember. Feeling confident, are we? Well then, scribble your guess in the comments section before sneaking a peek at the answer hidden away in the description. So, let's dive right into the deep end of the pool of tears, shall we? Starting off at number 10, we've got Marley and Me, 2008. Now this film seems like an innocuous family movie about a naughty but lovable Labrador retriever. You might be fooled into thinking it's all sunshine, doggy treats, and tail wags. But oh boy, are you in for a gut-wrenching surprise. This film is an emotional roller coaster that explores the profound bond between humans and their pets, culminating in a profoundly heartbreaking climax. If you've ever loved a pet, this movie will hit you right where it hurts the most, leaving you drowning in a sea of tears. Proceed with caution and maybe a box of tissues. Now, if you've managed to survive that devastating doggy drama, brace yourself, because coming in at number 9 is the knockout punch, quite literally, of Million Dollar Baby, 2004. This isn't your typical underdog sports film where everyone cheers at the end. Nope, this one takes a dramatic left hook that will leave you breathless. Directed by Clint Eastwood, the film stars Hilary Swank as a determined female boxer who dreams of greatness in the ring. Everything seems to be going well for our heroine until tragedy strikes in the most unexpected way. The sudden turn of events in the narrative is just as shocking as a sucker punch, and trust me, it hits way below the belt. The exploration of dreams, determination, and the harsh realities of life make this film a heavyweight contender in the crying Olympics. Bring your fighting spirit and possibly a whole tissue box, because this film doesn't pull its punches when it comes to emotional gut checks. Just when you think you've regained your composure, sliding into the number 8 spot is The Book Thief, 2013. Don't let the title fool you. This isn't a whimsical heist movie about stealing books. No, siree. This film is a deeply touching tale set in the grim backdrop of Nazi Germany. Based on Markus Zusak's acclaimed novel, the movie follows Liesel, a young German girl who finds solace from the horrors of war by stealing books and sharing them with others. Themes of war, loss, and the power of words to incite both horror and hope make this film a tearjerker. The brutal honesty with which it portrays the atrocities of war and the human capacity for hope and resilience in the face of calamity is likely to leave you in a puddle of tears. This movie isn't just hard to watch because of its heart-wrenching content, but because it forces us to confront the very worst and the very best of human nature simultaneously. Keep the tissues handy, folks, because this one's a real sob fest. Alright, if you've made it this far, kudos to you. But don't put away that tissue box just yet. Floating into the number 7 spot is a film that will take those tears to new heights, literally, Up, 2009. This isn't just your regular animated film. Oh no, Disney Pixar somehow managed to weave a story that is as heartbreakingly beautiful as it is colorful and imaginative. The film starts off with a montage that chronicles the life of Carl, a grumpy old man, and his wife Ellie. This sequence, which is perhaps one of the most poignant in cinematic history, encapsulates the joys and sorrows of a shared life in just a few minutes. It's a cinematic masterpiece that takes you from laughter to sobbing in the blink of an eye. The rest of the movie follows Carl's adventure as he tries to fulfill a lifelong dream, an adventure tinged with the bittersweet reality of loss and moving on. Up is hard to watch not just because it's sad, but because it forces us to confront the beautiful and painful ephemerality of life, all under the guise of a kid's movie. So strap in and maybe strap on a parachute, because this film will take you on a flight of emotions you're not likely to forget. Emerging from the depths to claim the number 6 spot is the mammoth of a movie, Titanic, 1997. Just hearing the name is bound to send shivers down your spine, right? James Cameron's epic drama is more than just a tale about the infamous ship that hit an iceberg. It's a tragic love story that unfolds on the doomed vessel between Rose, a young upper-class woman played by Kate Winslet, and Jack, a working-class artist played by Leonardo DiCaprio. They say love is a sinking ship, and boy does this movie prove that metaphor. With a love so deep it's fathomless, the real tearjerker lies in the star-crossed lovers' struggle against their class differences, their fight for survival, and the ultimate sacrifice for love. The iconic scene where Jack lets go and sinks into the icy waters will have you crying rivers. Titanic is a painful watch, not because it's simply a disaster movie, but because it brilliantly portrays the fragility of life, the ruthlessness of social class, and the enduring power of love. You're going to need more than a life jacket to keep you afloat through this one. Perhaps a lifeboat of tissues should do the trick. If you've survived the iceberg hit and managed to swim through your tears, you might think it can't get any worse. But oh, my dear reader, how wrong you are. Prepare to set sail on another sea of tears as we embark on a deeply moving journey with our number 5 pick, A Walk to Remember. In 2002, this heart-rending romantic drama based on Nicholas Sparks' best-selling novel follows the love story of Landon and Jamie, high school students from different social worlds. Mandy Moore's moving portrayal of Jamie, the preacher's daughter who transforms the rebellious Landon, played by Shane West, is compelling to say the least. But what starts off as a sweet tale of young love quickly takes a devastating turn, revealing a tragic secret that will hit you like a ton of bricks. A Walk to Remember is a heart-wrenching watch not just because of its sad, unexpected plot twist, but because it beautifully captures the fleeting nature of life, love, and the transformative power of faith. It's about making every moment count, even when those moments are numbered. This film doesn't just walk into your heart, it leaves footprints all over it. You might want to keep that lifeboat of tissues handy because this walk is likely to turn into a torrential downpour of tears. Stepping onto the number 4 spot is a film that towers over most in terms of emotional gravitas, The Green Mile, 1999. Renowned for its storytelling prowess, this cinematic gem adapted from Stephen King's novel is set in the 1930s on a death row, colloquially known as the Green Mile. The narrative orbits around Paul Edgecombe, a death row corrections officer, and his encounter with John Coffey, a gentle giant of a man with a mysterious gift. Compelling, right? Now here's where the mile hits the green. The sadness of The Green Mile is neither quick nor easy. Instead, it's a slow, simmering pot of despair that catches you off guard, leaving you teary-eyed and emotionally spent. The juxtaposition of Coffey's innocent nature against the harsh realities of death row is stark and heartbreaking. The film forces you to grapple with tough questions about justice, humanity, and the dichotomy of good and evil in each of us. Watching Coffey's tragic fate unfold is as hard as walking a mile in his shoes. Hold on to that tissue box, folks. This is one mile you won't easily forget. Sticking with the theme of heart-rending romances, but with a nostalgic twist, we flip back to the tear-stained pages of our number 3 film, The Notebook, 2004. If you thought A Walk to Remember was a sob fest, wait until you dive into this novel-turned movie. Directed by Nick Cassavetes and based on Nicholas Sparks' novel, The Notebook traces the love story of Allie and Noah, from their youthful summer romance to their struggle with Allie's dementia in their twilight years. This film is a literal tearjerker, not just for the star-crossed love story, but for the cruel hand that fate deals this couple, culminating in a heart-wrenching finale. The portrayal of love persisting in the face of fading memories and the inevitable march of time is what makes this film so hard to watch. It's not just about heartache, it's about loss, memory, and the enduring power of love. The Notebook will tug at your heartstrings, twist them, and likely tie them in a knot. You'll need that tissue box, trust me. This isn't just a page-turner, it's a heartbreaker. Just when you thought our emotional roller coaster had reached its peak, we're about to take a plunge into the abyss with our number 2 film, Grave of the Fireflies, 1988. This isn't just a movie, it's a masterful piece of animated art that will tear your heart out and leave it to smolder. Set in Japan during World War II, this Studio Ghibli film chronicles the lives of 2 siblings, Seita and Setsuko, as they struggle to survive amidst the horrors of war. The sheer heart-wrenching realism of their journey is bound to leave you sobbing, as you bear witness to the loss of innocence and the harsh realities of a world ravaged by conflict. Grave of the Fireflies is difficult to watch, not just because it's devastatingly sad, but because it's devastatingly real, a stark reminder of the grim consequences of war. This isn't a film that takes you on a flight of fancy. Instead, it immerses you in the cold, hard truths of human suffering and the flickering hope that persists despite it all. Grab that tissue box and brace yourself. This isn't just a grave of fireflies, it's a burial ground of untamed emotions. And now, we have arrived at our number 1 tearjerker, the film that doesn't merely tug at your heartstrings but rips them out entirely. Schindler's List, 1993. This cinematic masterpiece, directed by Steven Spielberg, is not just a film, but a haunting portrayal of one of history's bleakest periods, the Holocaust. An unflinching look at the horrific atrocities committed during World War II, the movie follows Oskar Schindler, a German businessman who saved the lives of more than 1,000 Polish Jews by employing them in his factories. This movie doesn't just make you cry, it hollows you out, leaving you in a state of emotional paralysis. The stark black and white cinematography, the heart-rending performances, and the gut-wrenching depiction of human suffering make Schindler's List an extraordinarily hard watch. Every scene serves as a stark reminder of man's capacity for inhumanity, yet simultaneously showcases the resilience of the human spirit and the power of a single individual to make a difference. This isn't a movie, it's a history lesson wrapped up in a tragedy, packaged with a gut punch. If you're still clinging onto that box of tissues, consider this a fair warning. With Schindler's List, you're going to need a whole lot more. So there you have it, folks. Keep that tissue box handy, because with these movies, you are guaranteed a tearful and emotional journey. Hope you had a blast watching this video. If you enjoyed it, show some love by smashing that like button, subscribing, and leaving us a cheeky comment down below. Thanks for tuning in, and catch you on the flip side.